And we are live. Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, happy time zones wherever you might be. I'm Emma and welcome back to Sunless Skies, now on part 13, swiftly becoming, I think nearly the longest game I've ever done. I must count Mass Effect all of the thing, but, you know. Anyway, yes. If you were here last time, you'll remember we finally bought the engine I've been gazing at avariciously for many weeks. So now we have a dreadnought, we actually have assaying equipment, we can hopefully stand up in a fight a bit better. And we were just cruising around doing quests. Honestly, it was like 3 days ago, I can't remember exactly what we were doing last time. Oh wow, we're starting on the stretch and hydrate right away, are we? Thanks, chat. Well, this one's for you. Because you're probably right. But yes, not totally sure what we're going to be doing, because it was 3 days ago and there's been Eurovision since then. But let's just get into it and have a look at our journal and stuff. Basically, we're probably going to drive around and make bad decisions. And that's the best tooltip ever. Okay, we're at Brabazon. Can I remember why we're at Brabazon? No. Okay, we don't have to do tours, because we can just go straight to the revolutionary hideout. I can't remember what they wanted. Let's find out. So, signal the revolutionary agent. The cape sliding off their left shoulder, the hair tied just so. The not remotely discreet eyebrow raise whenever you meet their eye. They match the description the revolutionaries gave you. They demand a complicated handshake before they'll hand you a carriage clock. Same deal as on the tour. I stole your pocket of time myself. Make good use of it. As they turn to smile innocently at another overseer, they shove you towards a maintenance hatch. Get through there and someone will take you the rest of the way. So here we are again with the Reverberant Activist. How can we assist? Oh, blackmail material, I have that. Ah yes, it was Savage Secrets and tea they like. I'm getting all this information about an uprising that I could use to sell the revolution out. I don't want to. The workers are unhappy, yes, this is exciting. Oh, and now they want permits and nectar. With a really threatening description, but sure. I have 4 permits. Ideal. We have to get into Little Nice. This may allow us to do so. There are some overseers I used to know who got promoted out of reach, but they owe me, and I'll be able to remind them of the debt. The leader grins again, fiercely. His youthful assistant quails, but says nothing. The workers strike. Yes, we can cause strikes. This is good. Brabazon workers are up in arms, but we are rapidly running out of time, so one of these things is better than the other. All is prepared. We have everything we need, you are told. Come. A wiry, ginger-haired man grins at you over... Wait, this is the same thing. The Reverberant Activist is agitated, pacing anxiously. Come, quickly. Our plans are prepared and our patience is gone. It is time. He leads you downstairs. Listen. From all around you hear shouts and chanting. The song of revolution is inharmonious, but it is passionate. Thank you, Captain, for all that you've done. He points in the direction of the bit between. Now, go. For your own safety, I'll see you again when this is settled. It's time we had a word with the governor. Workers cheer as you pass. The heavy double doors to the tunnel burst open before you. The sympathetic overseer rushes forward to lead you away and hears the shouts from the work world. Oh. Unrest is high enough for an uprising, and the sun is now down to 0, so who knows, it may explode when next we get to it. Industrial unrest. Workers burst through into the bit between from the work world. Overseers run in both directions, some fleeing, some throwing themselves into the melee. An overseer bustles you to your locomotive. Is it the revolutionary leader's ally? Workers rush between you before you can be sure. He shouts over the crowd, "You have to leave. Come back in... oh, I don't know, but come back in a few days, when this is all over, one way or another." It's not clear what he reads in your face, but he presses his point. This is between us work welders. We have to resolve it. You've done your bit. Okay, so... are the shops still accessible? Yes, okay. Unexpected, to be honest. Accessible even, not acceptable. Those are different words. Okay, so let's see what we've still got on the list. It's a large list. So, writing the book, then we needed another momentous exploit, and oh, would you look at that, starting a revolution was one of them, so that might be sorted next time we come back and find out. The Repentant Devil, what does the devil need now? Is it 3 stained glass? Yep. More stuff at the nature reserve as ever. Oh yes, that's taking explosives in there to go hunting in the nature reserve for all the scientists. More stuff at Carolyn. Back to the reserve for exports. Vagabond wants to go to Atlas. These two want to go to the Blue Kingdom. The Princess wants to go to Piranesi and Eleutheria, and I need a chart for that. Office of Works wants hours. Got a horological assignment in Welbury, stuff in Atlas. Mr. Apples wants Bronzewood and crew to Faith's Fall. There's an election in Perdurance. Take the navigator to Eden's Empyrean. Go back to the Clockwork Sun for the sequencer, but I'd quite like to remember what it is we need to help the sun not explode. Our aunt wants to go to Eleutheria. We need to get embraced by the displeased, and for that we need a royal dispensation. Need to go to the Mausoleum with some esoteric and badly explained stuff, so I'm not sure what to do about that. Go back to the Royal Society. Clairvoyant Doctress wants to go to Maudlin's. More stuff at Carolyn. The reserve again, Brabazon. Need to go to Perdurance and find the Councillor's daughter. Oh, of course, they just want hours on the sun, 3 barrels at a time. So, I think at some point I'll have to go to the Reach and then just bring on a big old supply run of hours. For now, I've got a couple of things at Perdurance. Maybe we'll go there. So, let's try and figure out a route. Or do we want to go to the Royal Society first? No, if we go down to London, across to Welbury, down to Perdurance, because London we can get resupplied and repaired, Welbury we've got a horological assignment, and then Perdurance I've got a couple of things. Let's do that. So yes, new locomotive, very exciting if you weren't here on Saturday. It's very exciting if you're me, at least. The new name, this is the Hydration. Because, you know, you all weren't here, but I still had to represent in your absence. It was very almost the Sleepless for the other part of my brand, but ended up going with Hydration. Oh wait, no, that's the impassable even bit of it. Like I say, it is often difficult to tell. the lighting is not as consistent as perhaps might be desired, but that's the price you pay for this kind of depth of field, I suppose. Taking a slightly different route, and it's always good, because this way I get all these little bits of XP as I find new places and open up other bits of the chart. Yes, speaking of the chart, they are currently to celebrate the launch of Sovereign Edition, and again, I'm not advertising for Fail Better, it's just a cool thing. To coincide with the launch of Sovereign Edition, they've just released a real-life art print of the star chart. So that arrived today here, so very exciting, and not going to be any help on this at all because it's procedurally generated in the actual game. So so my star chart will show one possible variation on it. Why do I always find that particular platform so hard to line up to? Anything happening in London? No. Now, do I have more reports to go in? Get hand in? No, I do not. Let's just repair, because yes, we don't want to be handing them into the bookkeeper at the minute because I want to get Ministry Gratitude up enough to get that Royal Dispensation. Oh, wow, an order from Navarrete gemstones, of which I've seen one cask ever. I can sell these Immaculate Souls, I don't actually need them for anything. At the minute. And this Ministry of Improved Literature. That's 600 sovereigns. Anything I want to buy now that I've got a ton of money? I don't quite have the Veils to get a new shiny rocket launcher. I could take an even better engine, but frankly, that's nearly all my money. I have a mine layer to replace my shotgun that I never use. Or a better shotgun. Oh, but I don't have the stats for that either. Okay, I have clearly not been paying attention to balancing everything. Oh, it's because I did that other well right, and I now appear to have 70 hearts. Excuse me while I shift my officers around. So what's that at the minute? 33, 48, 41, 70. So basically, anybody who gives me hearts is not going to be assigned for now. Oh, and also the Rat Brigade are giving me 10 hearts. Now what are we looking at? 51, 54... yeah, 42... 45. That's more like it. Go into and out of this to refresh. Yeah, now I could use a better shotgun. Which, how do the stats compare? 24, 440, 24, 350, 30. Huh. Ah, but it says it's an automatic shotgun, so it's probably got faster firing. You know what, let's give it a go. Why the hell not? Put the other one in the bank. Wellbury. Let's just test this shotgun out. Actually, let's not test this shotgun out because we'll probably manage to... Oh god, we just lost hull immediately upon leaving. What is it with this station? Why do I have so much trouble lining up to it? Oh, yeah. If I swing by Wit and Vinegar, they had that better mining setup that included some hidden compartments that I wanted to buy. How much was that? Because I've got a ton of money now. Well, I mean, I've got 1,000 sovereigns less than I did a minute ago, but... Yeah, I will wait to test the shotgun because I'll inevitably end up hitting a ministry thing and then they'll murder me, so let's not do that. See, this platform I can nail. It's just some Dominic's. So yes, we have smuggling prospects now. That's the other thing you will have missed if you weren't here last time. We can now smuggle. 1,100. Yeah! Oh, but the one we've got at the minute gives us 4 hold. That's actually less than ideal. Well, I bought it now. Good job, me. I think the Royal Society have some other things that could give me more hold if I wanted. But that's fine. 15 holds are a decent amount. I'll keep the Proserpina on hand and maybe stick it in the bank so that I can have it when I want to like do a big supply run or anything. So it's all good. It's all good. Oh, you look like somebody I can test my new shotgun out on. Okay, yeah, that auto fires. That's actually very nice. Consider me convinced. Whoa, that's a rocket launcher. You have a rocket launcher. Why do you have a rocket launcher? But what rocket launcher can compare to the might of the mangonel? I don't actually want to strip this for parts because we only have 1 hull lost. So let's search it for valuables. What have they stolen from the sleeping dead? Anything valuable will have been carefully concealed. You'll need to think like a grave robber, which apparently we're good at. We now have a roll of thirsty bombazine. The small hold has been turned into a meat locker. Within, corpses are strapped to tables. You close the door and look elsewhere. A false compartment contains fabrics torn from the dead, winding sheets and burial gowns and Sunday best. You take the most obviously expensive. This is fair. So, let's talk about the relative morality of grave robbing and grave robber robbing. Or alternatively, we'll not. We'll just take this bombazine and go. We were meant to go to Wellbury first, weren't we? Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. Since we're here, we'll drop in the Mausoleum, because then we can buy some glass to give to the devil. It's going to be expensive. Speaking of grave robbing. Okay, didn't actually rob anything. I just read a threatening message and lost 2 hull. So, yeah, I guess that's me told. That's what happens when you go poking around in the necropolis. Oh hey, there's another thing we can poke there. A vision of the heavens. I'll take it. Yeah, just reading stories from people's graves is far preferable to actually stealing their stuff. I guess that's why we invented tombstones. And here we are at a mausoleum. The mausoleum. Let's attend a funeral. Oh, it just costs us... Oh, right, because it's attend to Skyfarer's funeral. The priests welcome other travellers to share their stories from afar. We can afford that. The funeral is a mix of gentle sobbing and clutching handkerchiefs and excitement at stories from the depths of the high wilderness. You play your part, ensuring that a fellow traveller's life is remembered, instead of being lost to the winds far from home. Get a port report. Can we do anything with the Deathless? Ah, but no, because that's what we're doing, what we're going to Perjurance for, isn't it? So grab 3 panes of stained glass and realise that you no longer have the hold space. Switch your mining things so that you have the hold space. Buy another fuel as well. And talk to the devil. Also, was that last episode that we had sex with the devil? Can't remember if that was last episode or the episode before, and frankly, the fact that that seems commonplace enough that the day hasn't stuck in my mind I think says a lot about my brand. Assemble his evidence. 3 documents lie on the table, ready to be deciphered and translated from the infernal tongues. Some words are visible only in the right light. He looks as pleased as you have ever seen him. You recall the navigator but not a devil? Yeah, we had sex with the Repentant Devil. It was a whole thing. It takes some hours to sort the matter out, but it becomes clear in the end. I have the measure of my attack now, he says. If I were a younger devil, I would even be flattered. My old abilities are in demand. The son of the Blue Kingdom has put out a reward for the first person to kidnap me and bring me under guard to Sky Barnet, there to assist in the service of its appetites. Great, great, being hunted by a star, totally cool. So we can offer him safe haven aboard. Who cares if a judgment's looking for him, he belongs here. Or offer him passage to Sky Barnet so that he can serve the judgments there. That really doesn't seem like the kind of thing he would want to do. And we don't get the opportunity to let him retire because we've been encouraging him too much. Which is fair. Yes, because it's we were balancing his ambition, his anger at the judgments, and his... I don't know if that sound glitch carried through. I wasn't watching the levels at the time, but sorry if it did. I don't know what that was. Yes, and his kind of withdrawal from the situation. So yes. Safe haven aboard is... You're my devil. God damn it. You're a bloody good signalman. He's tried everything but rebelling against the judgments directly. And now, perhaps, it is time. Now of all times, perhaps it's possible to take action and have some hope of winning. What is this Mass Effect? Help your crew with your subplots until you can sleep with them? Me. Would I do such a thing? And anyway, it's not until you can sleep with them, because I've already slept with him. And we're going to plot a revolution anyway. Working for the liberation of night. Make his status here permanent. Who would he like to be if he's free to travel with you? And this would transform him into the Defiant Devil. Go up from 2 iron, 6 veils to just 10 veils and 2 academia affiliation. And we leveled up out of it. You offer him room to experiment, freedom to travel, protection, as much as you can offer, from the interference of any further agents of the Blue Kingdom. Either he's touched, or he has the tact to pretend that he is. At any rate, he accepts. Now he's the Defiant Devil. He has considered returning to the service of the Judgments. He has decided against. Yeah. Because you're my terrifying hell beast. And we leveled up. I do like this new level up screen. It's nice to be able to see everything put together. Anyway, let's take a facet. We could be in a private members club, be a postman, have been to prison, have participated in the blockade of New Winchester, or have attended a secret symposium. You are not this by having affiliation academic to or more. Is it my headphones acting up? I don't know. Like I say, million apologies if the sound is going weird for anyone else. I keep getting weird glitchy noises, but if that's not affecting the stream, then that's all to the good, and it's probably my headphones. Not weird there. Excellent, excellent, excellent. What are our stats looking like? 54, 49, 49, 42. So ideally mirrors would be good, and then veils or iron. Which would mean we're looking at being a correspondent or having participated in the blockade of New Winchester. Well, let's go with correspondence. Once letters had only had to travel from Harrow to Hackney. Now they have to cross the vast sky. Still, the postie does his best. You live a life of letters. Each evening you sit at your desk, ink and paper to one side, stamps and envelopes to the other. Who do you write to? Oh, okay, so we're not the actual post deliverer. We are the post creator. And the Veils one, we write to the newspapers, under an array of aliases, including despairing of Welbury and disgusted of Tooting Back. You pepper the letters pages with outrageous opinions. Do you believe any of them? Well, it's hardly the point, is it? And as somebody who, you know, regularly tells people to stop trying to apply logic and meaning to the words that come out of me, that I honestly kind of get behind that. Look at that, 46 base mirrors, because we were always using stuff that buffs everything else. I was wondering what that weird particle effect was. That was me levelling up. Oh, I probably should have bought fuel and supplies. I didn't. Oh well. Right, we were going to Endurance next, weren't we? Which is northeast. Hope everyone's doing alright out there in the wide internets and none of you are being hunted by the stars or anything. Oh, okay, we're having another Star Madness thing. A crewman is staring fixedly from a stained glass window. Look! He points out at the apparently ordinary sky. Webs, strung between the stars. Watch. Watch, there! Did you see the stars shiver? Like dew on the cobweb when the spider stirs. You saw no such thing. Come on, back to work. All good. Yes. Webs. Sure. I mean, like, even if there aren't webs strung between the stars, would that even be the weirdest thing in this setting? Ah, yes, we can assay now. That's an exciting new thing from Saturday. Basically, a lot of things happen on Saturday, clearly. An estate of vacant homes stands here. They've become the temporary habitation for a gang of skylarks, those homeless vagabonds who wander the windy paths of the sky. So we can trade them fuel for hours, trade supplies to reduce terror, gain sky stories, or trade sky story for provision of heavens. Honestly, I need hours for a bunch of stuff. And I can buy more fuel at Endurance, she says. Entirely incorrectly, in fact. It's not ideal. Oh great, the Mausoleum did sell both. Really should have done that then. Okay, well it's fine. It's just after Perdurance we'll just turn around and come back. We should easily have enough fuel for that. As long as we just don't get into too many weird fights on the way. Through the way. Prepositions. Oh hello. Get hanging out. Call that a mangonel. This is how you use a mangonel. Actually, no. This is how you use a shotgun. And then a mangonel. Really don't need the repairs, so let's loot the hold. An aromatic casket. Dried tea leaves. Your crew gathers round. An argument breaks out over the provenance and blend. Fetch a kettle. Yep, that's people's reaction to tea here in England. Can confirm. That's a weft. Might jump in there to repair it on the way back if it's still here. I think it's still here. I think once they've spawned, they stay there. That's a big scribe spinster, and I'm going around it. It spotted me. Well, let's just leave it to shoot a lighthouse instead. Good job, loser. And those military ships encountered. But here we are back at Perdurance. Which is, you know, cool. In a, you know, horrifying state control kind of way. And when the councillor told us to come here, she gave us a bunch of invitations, so that's good. A party below stairs. Tonight, the service bells from above stairs go ignored. The staff has a couple of hours to itself to dance, to sing, to trade stories of their betters. The candlelit party lasts until the clock strikes midnight, and the butlers, maids, and other staff intend to make the most of it. Do we want tea, gossip, or particularly good gossip? Savage secrets always come in handy, and they don't take up whole space. The staff hears all of Albion's dirtiest secrets, and are only too happy to share. To them, it's just gossip. In the right hands, these whispers can become a weapon. Anyway, here we are. So, yeah, they're selling cheap tea or literature. That's neither of which I really need right now. So yes, we're here, the butler is in the parlour. Let's write a port report first. Yes, we need to stand for Parliament. 62%, what's the highest we can get our veils? Got 2 veils off him. That's a lot. 6 off that. 4 or 10. 10. No, iron or hearts. And any of these can be veils. Nope, so it is already maxed out, so let's stand for Parliament again. Yeah! The votes are in. An angry lady in a silken gown harumphs at her defeat. Her charismatic gentleman makes all the right sympathetic noises until finding out that he too has been defeated. You wait for your name to be called out, and sure enough, the people choose well. To a smattering applause from the handful of the public who bothered to show up and vote, you rise from your chair to take your destiny. We will accept with grace. There you go, we are an MP again. Anyway, let's join the Half-Light Masque, because we have a bunch of invitations. It is morning in Perdurance. Perdurance's morning room is, this time, the domain of the Duchess of the Anti-Meridian, bright-eyed despite the night's revels. Dowagers of varying stateliness and aplomb take tea and converse in low tones. Other debutantes rely to correspondence, writing notes in elegant script and affixing them with sealing wax. Meanwhile, chaperones give orders to the servants and see to Perdurance's household accounts. The light is thin, winter bright. Let's find the presumptuous Heiress. The macabre counsellor commissioned you to find and free her daughter, the presumptuous heiress. First, you need to find her among the debutantes. And we could search the dining hall, or just weaponize our gossip and ask around. Perhaps with sufficiently enticing gossip, you could coax her identity from another debutante. A laconic popinjay listens avidly to your scandalous story, then inclines his fan towards a young lady leaning on the grand piano. That's her. Her mass of dark brown curls is set off with a spray of curving blue-black feathers so high they scrape the low ceiling. She's talking to the pianist, a lady of comparable build with similar brown curls, an identical chin, and matching eyes. They could be sisters. Oh. Apparently, the macabre counsellor has 2 daughters. She said nothing of this. No doubt it will prove to be a complication. There are too many people nearby to speak with either sister discreetly, but in the evening there'll be a ball. Perhaps you'll have a chance then. But now we move on from morning to afternoon. We did that. So we can ingratiate ourselves with the chaperones, the servants, and the debutantes as before. So let's just do the chaperones this time. See if we can keep that equality. Afternoon moves on into evening. Yes, this is the bit where I was like, a vast ormolu gasolier. Those both aren't words you hear very often. Dance with the presumptuous heiress. She favours the polka. Alas. The presumptuous heiress is everything you expect in a dance partner. Demanding, joyful, and a touch too exuberant for propriety. Her attention is only partially on you, and only very peripherally on the steps of the dance. Instead, she waves at friends across the ballroom and whispers snatches of conversation as they pass close by. Between mincing steps interspersed with quick turns in double time, you manage to ask your questions. So your mother wants you to leave with us? For all her frivolity, that's a word, the presumptuous heiress can summon a thunderous frown when the moment demands it. Leave without my poor luckless sister? I've never heard such base cowardice. She continues for some time, casting imprecations on her mother, her plan, and your own involvement. The idea is lack-witted in the extreme, even for Mamma. I would rather rot here. She plucks a crudité from a passing silver platter and looks for a servant to refill her champagne. As expected, a complication. The macabre counsellor told you she has an agent in position at Presumptus to assist you. You better find them and seek advice. We can do that. And let's dance with her sister. A country dance. You'll have to watch your feet. The luckless sister is light on her feet, with a graceful tread. Her curls escape her pins as she twirls, gleaming a dark bronze in the gaslight. She looks very much like her sister as she dances, the occasional anxious line in her face smoothing over with the abandon of youth. Still, there is a watchfulness about her even as you clasp hands and smile. You must seize your moments for speech. Somehow you contrive. Ask about her family. Investigate her opinions of the presumptive heiress and the macabre counsellor. The luckless sister is thoughtful where her sister is pleasingly frivolous, and considered when her sister is untroubled. You gently steer the conversation in the direction of her sister, probing for resentments or jealousies. You find none. It's only when you mention the matter of mothers that the luckless sister's quiet charm falters. Though untrue pleasure of this awful place is that I will likely never see her again. Awful place? You look around at the laughing dancers in their shimmering finery, at the crystal decanters dark with wine, the window's evening blaze caught and refracted in the shining chandeliers. And you are reminded of that one scene from Labyrinth. Explain her mother's commission. Would she perhaps be willing to convince her sister to leave Presumptus? With you? Tonight? The Luckless Sister's laugh startles a nearby chaperone. He gives you a stern look, no doubt suspecting you of nefarious levities. Once her amusement subsides, she refuses. If I truly thought that would be best for my sister, I would help you. My mother would only entangle her in schemes and plots. My sister is ill-suited to a life of intrigue and suspicion. She is not surprised that her mother would abandon her here, but nor does she seem inclined to aid you. You'll need some form of leverage. Well, let's go. You part ways from the Luckless Sister. She returns to her position at the edge of the ballroom. Let's assist the chaperones. We've seen this before. Ooh, this is new. Listen to an anxious chaperone. One of the chaperones approaches you as the evening ends. She has one blue eye and one green. I need your help, she says. You're trusted by both servants and debutantes, and that is rare indeed. It inclines me to hope that you may be admirable. Thus I ask you for a favour. You're a traveller. I trust something to your care. Without a pause, she pushes her fingers into her own eye socket and pulls the eye out with a wet pop. She holds it out to you expectantly. Are you expected to take this? Oh wait, on closer inspection the eye is glass. Although the iris is inlaid with emerald and jet, flecked with gold. My family committed themselves to the Brabazon work world to pay off their debts. This will buy years off their service. I beg you, take it to them. You wrap the chaperone's eye on your cuff. Perhaps if you're travelling that way. And we move onwards. We've seen all of that. And we emerge back into the parlour. And sunless evening to you, Nicholas Stratcher. A chaperone taps you on the shoulder. You were equally popular with both the debutantes and the servants, a feat the chaperones admire. Never let it be said that you allow class to dictate the breadth of your friendships. The chaperones murmur quiet congratulations, remarking how your presence smoothed what is often a difficult day. They do hope you'll return. You leave, richer in gossip and soothed by the distraction of the half-light Masque. Okay, well, we need to find the Councillor's agent, so back in we go. We have more invitations. Locate the Councillor's agent. They will be trying to make themselves known to you. You must only look for their signal. You drift nonchalantly about the room, observing and eavesdropping. At last you come to a small corner table where one of the chaperones, a Clairvoyant Doctress, is shuffling tarot cards. The back of the cards bears a distinctive familiar pattern, the seal of the macabre counsellor. You give the Doctress the slightest of nods. She winks back. Please sit, she bids, and let me part the veil twixt present and future for you. The ominous tones are perhaps taking it a bit far. She's wearing modish fashions, but without any adherence to society's opinion regarding colour or pattern. Paisleys in magenta layer stripes of emerald and indigo. Her hair is a mousy colour, her eyes unremarkable. Her face is pleasing brown, but not particularly distinguished. The overall impression she gives is one of dazzling colour and clashing patterns. A deliberate misdirection? She draws gruesomely hand-painted cards and lumpen crystals from a clinking beaded reticule and constantly smokes cigars. This is... There's a lot to take in this mental image, I feel. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel like I would like to meet this woman. It just sounds like a lot. You were promised help? Well, here it is. The Clairvoyant Doctress tosses the edge of her floral embroidered capelet, just get better, and runs a hand down an equally elaborate bodice. I'm to be the Heiress's replacement. We'll swap clothes and perhaps a few other items. No one will know to look for her because she'll still be here. Clever, yes. Perhaps your skepticism shows. She grins. Aha, you think we don't look alike? Allow me to reassure you that is a temporary inconvenience. I'll worry about that. You worry about finding an escape route. I'd recommend gossiping with the debutantes, chaperones, and servants. Every cage, no matter how gilded, has a hatch through which someone can remove the shit. You mentioned the complication of the surplus sister and that the heiress refuses to leave without her. Quite. Is our employer forgetful, do you think? Or manipulative? It doesn't matter, of course. We were paid for a single sister, and I can't split myself in two. You'll just have to convince the Mrs. Macabre to separate, won't you? Also, I like how it's plan your escape with one of the daughters, not saying which one. So we need to find an escape route and convince them to part. But let's get to know her first, because she sounds cool. You like to know the people you're committing crimes with. Easier to predict the likely moment of betrayal. Never you mind about that. Just stick to the plan, and it'll all be right and tight. The Clairvoyant Doctress yawns elaborately and dismisses you with the majesty of a dowager duchess. What's that smell on her breath under the bitterness of the cigars? Candle wax? Nah, that can't be right. Ah, that means a lot to, if you know Fallen London. if you know who in this universe eats candles and is good at looking like other people. See, I'm not going to say anything, but if you know, you know. Let's return to the room. She finishes your reading with an elaborate flourish. You will meet a handsome stranger in a mask this evening. You know, I think I'm getting the hang of this. Good for you. And we move on. Morning is over. So yes, we need to gossip with people and find things. Let's gossip with the chaperones. Where else to look for scandal but amongst the guardians of morality? Perhaps they know something useful about the macabre counsellor's daughters. Wine loosens their tongues. The older of the macabre counsellor's daughters was, until recently, engaged in an affair with the Fuliginous Forewoman below stairs, a woman lacking social status or connection. You point out the regimentation of each cycle. How could the luckless sister possibly slip away to an assignation? The chaperones indicate the nearby dumbwaiter, built to carry hot food and dirty dishes from below stairs. A concealed door in the morning room apparently serves a similar purpose. Next time you visit, perhaps you should take a little look below stairs. And we move onwards to evening. I've been skipping over these, and they do change slightly each time. A passage opens behind the china cabinet, and the procession forms once more. You take a breath and step into the close, stifling darkness, trying not to fall behind as the passage contorts and coils. The vibrations of the looms spinning up below stairs nearly knocks you off your feet. The hours scream backwards. You see someone in one of those strange, featureless masks touch a debutante on the shoulder. A brief struggle, and the debutante is bundled away. You do not see them again. It's an enormous relief to spill out into evening at the grand ballroom. Everyone finds their place without a murmur, and courtly life is resumed, almost as though the terrors you just experienced never happened. Never existed, is the actual thing. Now we gossip with the debutantes. They have sharp eyes and minds under the flounces of taffeta. Or so you hope. And perhaps they know something that will aid your escape with the counsellor's daughter. The debutantes tell you of the governesses, the Empress's agents who wear oval masks of featureless obsidian. Yeah, we've seen them. They're only glimpsed in the passages between morning and afternoon, between afternoon and evening, between evening and dusk, or possibly dawn. You hear stories of disappearances and secret tribunals, of interrogations and re-education. A court that lies beneath the court. There are hidden hatches in the passages, the doors of night. The governesses use them to remove those of us whose family displease Her Majesty. I don't know why everyone seems to be getting vague West Country accents today, but that's what they're getting. You wonder whether you can make a certain sister vanish in the same manner. After evening would be best. Well, here we are after evening. You've learned that the governesses, masked agents of Her Majesty, use hidden doorways into and out of the passages between Presumptus' rooms. If you can find one, it would be exactly the escape route you need. The music ends, the dancing dies, the lights dim. The chaperones, like patient sheepdogs, herd the debutantes together. The door from evening opens onto a lightless passage. As ever, the debutantes gossip and giggle, using merriment as their shield against the gloom and the faceless figures it might hold. This time, as you pass along the corridor, you turn your eyes from the candles to preserve your night vision. You ignore the procession and study the dark. There, a cloaked figure in a featureless obsidian mask emerges from an unseen door. They glide alongside the procession, looking intently into each person's face. The debutantes look away, a touch of hysteria creeping into their jollity. You search the walls where the governess appeared, finding the crack of a closed door and the hidden catch that opens it. This is the escape route you need to squirrel one of the sisters away. On a future evening in Presumptus, when all else is in place, you will be able to make use of this. Yeah. We have located an escape route. Now, we didn't charm anyone this time. A debutante veers away at the last moment. I'm terribly sorry, I thought you were someone else. It appears you made little impression during your time here. The inhabitants of Presumptus are already hard at work percolating the feuds and affairs that will dominate their new day. You make a quiet exit. But it's fine, because we've been planning. And back in we go. Let's go below stairs. A concealed door blends in with the wallpaper here behind a bamboo screen, allowing servants to pass modestly in and out. The areas below stairs are part like the kitchen of a grand country house and part like a factory floor. Cooks prepare food in enormous pots, servants appear with empty plates to be scraped off and clean, even while others carry steaming dishes upstairs. Further back are rows upon rows of hour looms, each tended by weavers with their hair pinned tightly back. The heat of the cooking combines with the shudder of machinery and pandemonium. Let's talk to the Fuliginous Forewoman. She is an impressive sight, presiding over the din with a plum and a rolling pin. The forewoman's waistcoat is dark and tightly buttoned. Beneath it, a corset strives gallantly against her ample figure. Her skirt is hitched up over a pair of soot-stained trousers and ankle boots. Strings of glass beads glitter at her throat, casting dazzles over her rich ochre skin as she bellows orders, sending workers scurrying from this loom to that. She turns to you, her eyes aligned with pitch. Grime or cosmetic affectation? Again, there's a lot in this mental image, and I want to meet her. She sounds awesome. That's what she does. The Fuliginous Forewoman squints. I keep this damn place running is what I do. Do you think the looms ravel their own time, or untangle knotted skeins, or order new consignments of hours to make sure them above don't go wanting for their precious, perfect day? You ever been in an hour carding accident? You ever seen a weaver's scalp torn off when their hair gets tangled in the warp? Yikes. She takes a deep breath, and her already impressive bosom inflates to magnificent proportions. Them above may think they're all that, but this right here, this is Presumptus' heart and soul. Ask her about the Luckless Sister. Inquiring about illicit love affairs almost always goes well. You've only been slapped twice. Or thrice. The Fuliginous Forewoman's expression turns hard in an instant. Them above have been talking, have they? Snide little gossips. She's the only one of them worth anything. She sounds remarkably affectionate as she warms to her subject. Perhaps it was the Luckless Sister who broke off their affair. No, it was me. The forewoman admits miserably. Her face spasms for a moment. She draws out a handkerchief from her corset and coughs heartily into it. She shoves the handkerchief into her pocket, but not before you notice a violet stain on the fabric. Swooning over the forewoman in chat. Yeah, I can understand this. Ask about the handkerchief. You noticed a violet stain, the precise colour of certain aggressive strains of fungus found in the Reach. Saw that, did you? I travelled before I was forewoman, and on my journeys I was exposed to certain spores. They colonised both my lungs and my thoughts and are part of something old and vast. Oh hey, snap! I've got one of them! They awake impulses in me, the last and latest of which is to bring them home. I've denied them as long as I can. I must leave soon. She looks away. That's why I broke off the affair. Better to do it like that than to sneak off in the night. I thought about asking her to leave with me. But it would mean abandoning her sister. What if the spores colonise her too? But maybe... no use worrying on the maybes. Perhaps you can use this information to make one sister convince the other to leave. Maybe so. End your conversation. You can barely hear her over the din of the looms anyway. Onwards. Into afternoon. Do we want to speak to the Doctress? Do we want to go below stairs again? Let's speak to the Doctress and just let her know where we are with this, because I don't think there's much else we can do in the afternoon. Or not? No? Okay, back to the dining room. Can we do anything below stairs? No, that would just be talk to the forewoman again. Okay, so we've seen what happens for a day when you charm the debutantes and the chaperones, so let's charm a servant. You drain your wine glass and raise it an inch, trying to catch a servant's eye. Perhaps, given an opportunity, you can win their approval. Or not. It works, but all too well. 3 servants collide in their haste, pouring wine into your glass, onto the table, and mostly into your lap. Okay, let's dance with the Luckless Sister again and see what we can do. Threaten to expose her affair? No, that's not a thing we want to do. But this is a thing we want to do, is reconcile her with the forewoman. You can try, at least. And perhaps the presumptuous heiress will be easy to persuade once she knows her sister has a better reason to stay. You begin by hinting at the Fuliginous Forewoman's secret motives, casting their entire situation in the frame of a romantic tragedy. The Luckless Sister attempts to look uninterested, but her eyes betray her. You tell her the truth, that the forewoman suffers from a singular fungal condition, that in order to tend it, she will need to leave perdurance. That she ended their relationship in order to protect the Luckless Sister. I don't need protecting. The sister snaps. Indeed, indeed. She can't stay with her lover and her sister, can she? Oh, you are clever for a brute. Very well. If you promise to take my sister away from here, I will convince her to go with you. Perhaps after this business with the fungus, I will see her again. Better bring the forewoman the good news, but I don't think I can do that until we have another day, which is annoying. Or... tie up an inconvenient loose end. The Fuliginous Forewoman knows of your interest in the sisters and may endanger your escape. Okay, yeah, we need to get her on side, so visit her below stairs. Yeah, we'll be doing that another time. Can we say anything to Presumptuous Heiress now? No. Okay, let's charm the servants again. They're soberly clad, half-masked in bone-white pewter, and standing to attention at the edges of the ballroom. Oh my god, the servants don't like me. You start a conversation with one servant, then another. They listen attentively, but distantly. You abandon your attempt at small talk to their evident relief. Yeah, mood, really. Move onward, then. Yeah, nobody wants to talk to me. Lose a bit of terror. All fine. And now we're out of invitations. Okay, but that's fine. We just need more invitations. I reckon... I think we might only need one more. Go to speak to the forewoman in the morning. Sort that out. No, I think we need two more, because we need to talk to the sisters to convince them. And then roll back around to talk to the doctress to say everything's set, and then we can do it. Okay, 2 invitations to Perjuran should do it. That's fine. Where were we headed next? Welbury. They sell fuel and supplies, so yes, I think that's where we want to be going. I did say originally going back to the Mausoleum, but honestly, it's as close to just go. Well, that was loud. Yeah, it's just as quick to go northwest of Welbury. What's that? A military monitor, that's fine. They have no reason to hate me at the minute. Although, remember the last time they had no reason to hate me and then they killed me? And yeah, 2 spare barrels of fuel should be fine to get us up there. Just don't detour at all. Recharges wrath. Like I say, I love the place names in this. Oh god, we're gonna see our punk kid again, aren't we? Looming out of the mists. Oh, yeah, there he is. Hello. I have no idea what he'll actually do if we hang around, but you know what? I am not interested in finding out. Places to be. Yeah, see, plenty of fuel. Yeah, like I say, don't know what he'll do if we stick around longer, but if you want to find out, do it on your own time. I don't think we can drive through that warning, actually. Let's drive around. We've got fuel, it's fine. Yeah, I do love the fusion of the concepts of space and sea that they do in this. See, made it to Welbury, plenty of fuel, all good. Let's go to the shops first before I forget. There you go, that's what we like to see. Back to the pier. Okay, so to do our horological thing, we need to actually get in there. We can queue. We've not got any time-sensitive things happening there. It only takes an extra day. And 5 terror, but you know. Give us a coat. Report. Investigate the clocks, there it is. Festival preparations are in full swing. A glance up at the clocks tells you at once that they had better speed up. The 3 days they think they have left is closer to 3 hours. Should we sabotage it just because we, you know, want to sabotage the Empire? Yes, we will. Time keeps on slipping. You make sure of it. A metaphorical wrench era. literal one there, shortening that pendulum a fraction of an inch. The port will remain on its own time, on its local time, independent from London's. As for the pieces left over, you're sure you can find good use for them elsewhere. Oh, we now have too many supplies. Great, 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 great. Cool, totally cool. Is there anything we actually wanted to do here otherwise? Let's pay a secret and slide across to the off-season. And shovel some donkey excrement for a while. A grumpy woman wastes little time on exposition. She passes you a shovel, a few words of advice, and jabs a gloved finger at a seething mound beside you. Try not to breathe deeply. Over the course of the next few hours, you discover two things. The first is that donkey feces, once it starts burning, smells curiously like tea. The second is that it occasionally fruits malformed viscera, an occasional eyeball or six. The work is nightmarish, but you survive to the end of your shift. You'll never smell the same again. Yay, we got paid. I guess. Let's go for a walk along the beach and visit the cult? Is there anything to say to them at the minute? No, because we need to give the leaflets at the outer horizon. Do we want some donkey eggs? Let's have some donkey eggs. And let's just leave. I don't want to spend one of my last 2 permits to go back to the tourist part of Welbury, and we did what we came here for originally. Oh, the mist's back. Join the Song of the Mists. Oh, we got another creepy doll. Great, great. Very cool. Very cool, normal and good. Sell these 2 crates of supplies that we just got given. And we move on. Where were we headed next, do we think? I kind of want to head back to Brabazon to see about that revolution. I want to go to Brabazon, I want to go to Parliament so we can, you know, do some parliamentary things, and I want to go to the Royal Society to see about some stuff with them. So let's go to Brabazon first, shall we? Because I think they've had ample time to actually do the revolution part of the revolution. And now we come to the telling my glorious tale part of the revolution. Actually, once we've done that, I might head back to the Reach and pick up a lot of hours. Because they sell them in Prosper, which is just the other side. It will be expensive, though, and actually we spent a lot of money, didn't we? Might need to focus on actually making some of that again. I forgot we had a horn, even though the first tip we saw on the loading screen was you have a horn. It does nothing, but it just goes, and that's pleasing in itself. Also, I discovered on Saturday, for those of you who weren't there, that I could, this is my new sensor beep. She says, having already sworn a couple of times, but you know, if you ever need to swear and you can just drop a honk in the middle of the sentence. I don't know if it attracts the attention of hostiles or anything, but also it's funny. To me. And really, things that are funny to me are what we're all here for, because it's my stream. Ah, look at that lovely space smog we've got going on. That's background that I've just steered around, isn't it? Why are those pipes moving? Are they... Oh yeah, they're not attached to anything, they're just drifting. Cool, 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 very cool and good. Yeah, exactly, I already read the words that have been Victorian censored. I mean, if I wanted to, I could go a lot bluer with this. I could start talking about all the little stuff like that. Just had a Scott Pilgrim. How are you doing this with your mouth? I've seen me play Oh Sir. I've seen that around. I think I might own it on Steam. I really don't know much about it. Yeah, that's a wall. That's the opposite wall. Cool, cool. That all went very well, and I think we handled it perfectly. You can see only overseers in the bit between. That doesn't bode well. But all is not as it was before. They seem tense, on edge. Investigate what's happening. An overseer runs up to where you stand by your locomotive. The revolution's over. The governor asked about you. He tries to say more, but needs to catch his breath. Finally, he's restored enough to continue. He seemed eager to see you. Said to let him know if you docked. But maybe you should just head across. Just head straight across. Tell him yourself. The overseers aren't wearing their working capes. Their blazers, combined with the way some bob to you, makes them seem very cheery. One holds open the door to Little Nice for you. It's a brief walk to the old governor's house. The door stands open, unguarded. In the front room, behind the desk, is the reverberant activist, Yes. He has not seen you. In front of him, with their backs to you, are two men. Neither has removed their stovepipes. Okay, yeah, that does sound like a game I would enjoy. Oh, that was... I just clicked perhaps not, didn't I? The advisory board was horrified to learn of conditions under the previous governor. Genuinely shocking. We are convinced that you are the person to ride the ship. After all, who knows it better than you? The man takes out a sheet of paper and places it on the desk. You can't see what it says. The other stovepipe speaks. There are some practicalities that might mean progress is slower than you or I would like. Production must be kept up, of course. After all, that's what puts food on the table. But I'm sure you can find efficiencies your predecessor couldn't. We leave it in your hands, Governor. Again, with the weird West Country / General Brythonic accents. Both stovepipes chuckle warmly. They shake the hand of the new governor and leave, giving you a small nod as they pass. The new governor looks confounded. Whatever he expected, it was not this. There you go, you become authority and suddenly you are the establishment. Very sad. Perhaps this wasn't what you expected. Maybe you knew this was inevitable. But you've caught the revolutionary leader, the governor, by surprise. How do we congratulate or upbraid him for this? I think we should shout at him just because shouting at authority is our whole brand. The workers of Brabazon trusted him. They sacrificed their time for him in the hope that he would save them. And now, this. The governor meets your gaze, but says nothing. A gasp alerts you to the presence of the bearded youth. How long has he been standing behind you? With a gesture, the governor dismisses him. When the governor speaks again, his voice is low. If the furnaces die, so does Brabazon. The reality is, I can only shuffle a few workers off the work world, but the rest would freeze. He smiles. Bright, charming. I can make things better, at least. I can give them hope. glances at the document on his desk. I won't be leaving. I've no use for this. Take it, please. A royal dismissal. Yes! Do quests, get things for other quests. That's the system. The workers are unhappy. They realise this isn't fair, but they cannot yet see the opportunities for change. So we did an uprising. What did it accomplish? Anyway, we have the chaperone's bequest. A chaperone at Presumptus asked you to deliver a bequest here in order to reduce the term her family needs to serve at Brabazon. The governor's staff handle this sort of thing. You're directed to a modest desk in a confined office in a shabby corner of the mansion. A brisk secretary greets you and offers you tea. A formality, not a genuine offer. The chaperone's jewelled eye is heavy in your pocket. Yeah, I mean, we could just keep it, but no, that doesn't seem like a thing we would do. Deposit the eye as requested. The secretary seems disappointed. Time is more valuable than coin here. She examines the artificial eye critically. We'll have to get it professionally assayed, of course. Its market value will determine the amount of time by which service can be reduced. At that point, the residents in question will have to decide how the reduction will be divided among them. If a dispute occurs, the cost of legal resolution will be deducted from the value of the bequest. She drops the eye into a drawer. We'll take care of it. She completes and stamps an elaborate series of forms, then hands them to you. They are labyrinthine and baroque. Exactly the sort of thing you could use to befuddle some overworked junior official, and I'm sure we will at some point. Yeah, help someone successfully with their paperwork. Lose a bit of terror. So now we have the official shortcut to Brabazon back streets. Wave at the children on the way to school. The governor is trialling a scheme whereby the children get to attend school in Little Nice. Their chances of earning a way off port while still young are increased. Marginal gains? We'll still keep your children in debtor's prison, but they have a slightly higher chance of working their way out. This is not how you revolution. One of the youngest, a particularly grubby-looking creature, rushes over to hug your leg. Hello, he says shyly. Get back here, you manipulative monster, calls the overseer, trying to herd them. Yeah, once again, we take down the establishment, we become the establishment. Great. Yeah, a little bit real. Grab some fuel. Anything interesting? Oh, they're selling ours cheap. Hello. Is there any way for us to divest ourselves of some? We can spend some tea here. The new governor has encouraged the people of Brabazon to form a committee. It has not yet been able to reach any decisions. If you bring them tea, they'll stamp any permit you provide. I mean, that, again, is how government works in Britain. The committee sits in a requisitioned stockroom just off the bit between. It's cramped, forcing the members to rotate to attends. Work welders and overseers sit in equal balance. Right. So we'll arrange a rotation of younger work welders into the empty dormitory of Little Nice. Why younger? The old ones have less time left. That's hardly fair. Thought we wanted to give some a chance, not remove it from everyone. Oh. Yeah, you got some permits, I guess. What else have we got in our hold? Munitions, bombazine, that. Tell you what, if we go back to London, we can bank the stuff we don't need. Then I think, up to Brabazon, buy all the hours we can carry, take them across to the Clockwork Sun, and see what we can do with that. And this is a bridge, we can go under it. One day, I will remember consistently how bridges work. It is not this day. Oh, and this means we don't have to be giving our reports to the ministry anymore. We can be anti-establishment again, because we've already got our royal dispensation. I have a piece of paper that says I can do whatever I want. I am permitted one crime. This is just the Victorian version of that Parks and Rec meme. It's okay, I have a license. Yes, as ever, plus change. Plus rien ne guère change. Why did I say ne guère change and change guère? Those words in some order in some language. Ideally one I speak, but that's never guaranteed. Oh, this isn't turning, we want the next turning. I swear, even more than always forward, never plan. My real catchphrase here is, this is the wrong turning, isn't it? And drove into a wall. Seriously, what is it about this station? It messes me up. Anything to see in London? The Advertising One Ministry approved literature. That's relatively easy to come across in. Is it Welbury or Pejurance? I think it's. Well, it's definitely Pejurance. It might also be Welbury, but. Ah, yes, there you go. So that is a solid prospect to be doing, because those are both places we want to be going. Here we can sell this crate of munition, we can sell this roll of bombazine. Here we can bank this spare mining array. And the ravelling jack, we won't need that for now. We want 7 spaces for more hours, so I will take another one each of them. Should make us some proper money. We shouldn't get our repairs though, just in case, because me cocking it up would be very understandable and on brand. And also, we can hand in support reports to the New Street line. 3 gratitude, 300 sovereigns. There we go. We needed that. We need an unlicensed chart. That would cost 6 gratitude, but also we can trade gratitude to win his trust. What is this mysterious further work he once alluded to? Have you been useful enough yet that he trusts you? He considers you for a minute, tapping his pen on the desk. Then he nods. He communicates that he works for the New Street Line, an organisation that arranges for work-world escapees to be smuggled to safety. If necessary, the line finds them new lives and new names. The authorities do not approve. If you want to help, you'll need to meet his patron. He gives you a yellowing train ticket and shows you an address. It belongs to a fierce philanthropist, co-owner of the Steam and Sapphire company. Can we have a meeting? The bookkeeper will arrange an appointment for you. Yes, this is good art and I approve of it. You call at the fierce philanthropist's tall, stately house. Her secretary is a slight man with a drooping lip. He jumps up when you present your ticket and ushers you into his employer's study. She sits tall in her chair, a sherry bottle to one side, her papers to the other. She pours you a glass. Please, have a seat. Her voice has a hint of Midlands melancholy, which I probably won't communicate very well because that's not an accent I'm good at. I mean, few accents are. So, about this work. How does it work? Do they have hidden stations, black-wreathed locomotives, safe houses for workload SPs? There is no line. The philanthropist taps a nail on her mahogany desk. Only the idea of one. We have conductors operating throughout the Empire, reporting to me. I'll point you to one of them, and they'll tell you where you need to go. Assuming, of course, you're ready to be responsible for another's freedom. Well, you made that sound threatening, but sure, how can we help? The fierce philanthropist gives you a nod. We don't handle that side of business here, of course, she says. Too dangerous for our other affairs. Speak to our man at the yards. She directs you to a firebrand conductor. Use the passphrase, bread for blood. God, we are doing all the Union shenanigans today. And bid her a good day. She turns at you and turns back to her papers. You leave, but you finish your sherry first. Yeah, can't let good sherry go to waste. Visit the firebrand conductor. He meets you in a smoky station pub. The conductor is an itchy-fingered, studious young man, blazing with revolutionary zeal inside his oversized scarf. We'll free them one by one if we have to. It's a good job the clientele is raucous and utterly uninterested in your conversation. Yeah, that does. What happens on the work world? How does the new street line work against it? Everyone deserves the right to their own hours, to live them at the pace God intended, but on the work world, a pauper spends a month of their life to ensure an hour of rich man's luxury. The firebrand conductor spits onto the floor. Those who escape from the work world are hunted. Our patron arranges passage for as many as she can. We look for opportunities. Empty cargo trains, drunken captains who won't notice a few extra hands on board their trains. Okay, yeah, we can do this. Space on your train for some unfortunate soul. The firebrand conductor flips through his notebook. The lady makes the arrangements through her network. Let's see. Yes, pick up from here, deliver there. Come back to me and I'm sure I'll have another who needs your help. His mouth tightens. There's always more. Collect a passenger from the Home Bureau and deliver them to Port Prosper. Those are both places we go. Anything to do in this tobacco shop yet? Nope. It'll probably be important later. Immediately drive into the wall. God, I hate this station. It messes me up a lot, and I don't know why. Anyway, back to Brabazon to buy a whole bunch of hours, and then we'll deliver them to the Sun, and then we'll take a break. Because if I take a break in the middle of doing all this, I will forget what I'm doing and mess it all up. And when I actually have a solid thing to do, I need to actually focus on it for once. When I'm just noodling about doing side quests, it's all getting tracked in my journal, I can stop whenever, but I actually have a thing I want to do. Oh yeah, I said this was going to make money. This is the opposite of making money. We're going to be donating these hours to the Sun. Well, hopefully something will happen with that. Okay, I don't know if that was the game glitching or an intended effect of time glitching in the world of the game. Just the hour ringing far too many times. Ooh, look at those guard rays. God, this game's pretty sometimes. I mean, it's pretty most of the time, it's just occasionally it's also gross. I think it's going to be two things. Should be going around this, because once again, that's not turning. And here we are once again at Brabazon, where we started the episode. But then that's the nature of these games, they just go back and forth between certain places. Anything to actually see here? To get a port report I'd need to spend hours and stuff. No, I'm just here for 7 barrels of unseasoned hours. So that should make 9 all told, yeah, and they wanted deliveries of 3 at a time, so we can do that. We can do that. Should I have bought some more fuel? Yes, circling back. I responded to that as though it was something the chat was saying or something. No, that was just my own common sense choosing to exist. Should also pick up some supplies somewhere, because we can't get them in the sun. I wish there was a way to... There might be a way to get out of the Royal Society around the top and down to the sun, but frankly I don't think this is the time to go exploring for it. Which is a weirdly restrained thing for me to say, but here we are. No, what I think I might actually do is just head to the Royal Society, they sell fuel and supplies, I'll restock there and then onto the sun. No plan survives contact with me because once again there was never a plan because that's not what we do here. It was never a plan, it was a concept. I'm always so pleased by just games having an in-game calendar where it actually tells you the date in real days and years. I don't know why this pleases me so much. I just like being able to look at it and go like, oh, it's the 11th of February. Esoteric tastes, I suppose. But, you know, they're very easy to satisfy. Who knows, maybe it's just because we live in 2021 and time in the real world is broken, so it's nice seeing somewhere where it progresses linearly and correctly. Oh yeah, I didn't even clock that, the fact that it was saying the light was winter bright when we were there, like, right around New Year's. Thank you for actually paying attention to this game I'm playing. Somebody had to. 3 hours, like that. We could have just headed to the sun, our supplies aren't going down that quickly. The audio just glitched again. I don't know if this is, like I say, it might be the game glitching, it might be an intended effect because time is weird here. We keep getting little bits where a sound will glitch and repeat. I don't like it, because traditionally that is a prelude to your game going wrong some other way, and then just crashing entirely, and then you've lost all your progress. This has never happened to me before, and I'm not still annoyed. Not at all. That's some nice synth. Like I'm in an 80s fantasy movie. You know how it is, you ever take a wrong turning and suddenly you're in a ladybug. Okay, first of all, while I remember, supplies. Anything else I can do here? Oh, they want hours. Oh. This is tempting, actually. I'm going to do it. And also I can replace it with 3 barrels of hours. How do I not have the space? Oh, because you gave me a box of munitions. I didn't ask for a box of munitions. Ugh, fine. I'll send you the barrel of fuel back because I can grab 3 Ministry Approved Literature because that's what the Avid Horizon wanted. Gotta keep these trade chains up. What else is happening? The Celestial Exhibition. We can donate stuff. We've only got 1 Searing Enigma, but 650 sovereigns would be really handy. Oh, we have 16 otherworldly artifacts. We could sell, like, half of them. There you go, there's half of my artifacts sold. Get a free Savage Secret for helping with his experiments. Yep, sounds good. Anything else at the Royal Society itself? Report. What does the President have to say? What was the work? Ah, we can buy invitations to Bejurance here. For 4 Sky Stories, that is an excellent deal. Right, 2 of them, like we said, should do it. Ah yes, they want port reports from particular places. That's the thing, there's always so many things going on in this game that you just kind of have to work out which to care about. Oh, and we have a ton of permits that we can deliver to our patron. So yes, give her permission to move the telescope. You have paperwork from London that could plausibly justify her continuing her researches into distant stars. The ascent to the telescope is arduous and up an improbable number of winding stone stairs. At the top waits the telescope, gargantuan and gleaming as a dragon slumbering in its lair. The chair pulls the machinery to open the dome to the heavens with visible glee. For a few moments she stands alone, looking up, bathed in distant starlight. And then she's at the telescope, lowering the great barrel until the lens is at her eye. We have reports. Over there, the bursar says through a mouthful of muffin, on the desk, for your perusal. A small measure of progress was achieved. I fixed the telescope firmly on the horizon, as I had indicated previous. Much must be left to speculation, but I believe there are commonalities with my observances at Port Haven. A different intent, for sure, but one must wonder, how long have our microscopic activities been under the lens of minds immeasurably superior to our own? Alright, H.G. Wells. Calm down. Okay, I thought that would advance more of a story thing. It didn't. Ah, now. I thought there was some equipment I was interested in getting. The only one that gives me hidden compartments is Mechanical Turk, which takes up an orc slot for 1 hold and 1 hidden compartment. That does not seem worth it. We have a lot of stuff we could contribute, but I don't think there's anything we particularly want right now. We don't have the stats to use the really good stuff. Ah, yes, we need to talk to the inscribed Tinkerer. That was the thing. We traced the correspondence to she was after. Seriously, there are so many quests, and I can only remember so many chains at once. Carefully, she takes your scorched notebook in her hands and flicks through the pages, occasionally nodding. Thank you, Captain. How marvellous. It ought to be classified with the Regrettables in the Doleford compilation, I think. She traces the broken lines of the sign with her blackened fingertip. The impact that destroys, the fire that burns bright. For some, there is no surrender. She takes the notebook and places it in a drawer marked with the stamp of the Ministry. Very good, Captain. Here, your reward. I'm more than happy to do business with you from now on. Again, vague Cornwall accent. So we can visit your shop now, apparently. The inscribed tinkerer's shop? Yeah. I can't remember what she sells. Signora Zenobia's Prestige Scythe. Is that a very, very niche Edgar Allan Poe reference? Because I think it is. Adamant reinforced windshield. The cantankerous boring rig. Oh, it's like the Proserpina, but also gives me armor 5. Heathcliff durable plating. Needs 50 hearts, which we can definitely do. Armor 11, hold 4. Oh, I like that. A miniature law furnace for the speedy and incendiary removal of inconvenient laws arresting your progress. 975 though. But yeah, armor 11, hold 4 in plating. Needs 50 hearts. Let me check my stats and come back. I should have checked how much it costs. We have 50 hearts, easy. And it would be a straight upgrade on our bronze with shielding. Okay, so how much would that cost? 15 on modifications. We can do that. We can absolutely do that. Also should have checked about the mining alright. Well, let's just go back to Portsmouth House, see how many... Yes, I know we had something approaching a plan, but I've got sidetracked, it happens. Take these munitions that they gave me. I don't need them. Have some otherworldly artifacts. I've still got a bunch of them. You can have 3 of them. And we have 19 Visions of the Heavens, so have 8 of them, and then we've got enough. Wish you could just say, have this many, but here we are. Leave, and back to the Tinkerer. Visit the shop. So yeah, we can't really use the law furnace. Boring rig, and would need slightly more, and also needs 50 mirrors, which I really don't think we have. But the plating we can definitely do. Thin as a man's pride, enduring as true love, the inscribed tinkerer says with a rare smile, or so the poets would have us believe. Excellent. Very good. 23 hold. I like that a lot. And also that means we can, in theory, swap out the Proserpina for the one that gives us hidden compartments, because we're getting so much hold from this. Is good. Oh, and that means I can actually pick up slightly more fuel and supplies, because I was thinking we were going to be cutting it a bit fine. If I get 2 of each, I can hold that. That should take us nicely to the sun, and thence to the avid horizon. Again, I could explore to see if there's a west passage to that, but I really don't want to. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna pause it right there, and then I'm gonna knock my camera and make everything go all screwy. Fixed, cool. Yes, I am going to pause it there, and I am actually going to go and take this break I keep saying I'm going to take. So I will see you all in about 10 minutes. I need to go and stretch and hydrate and run some ads, and you should do the first 2 things. Feel free to not do the last one if you if you're not attracted to capitalism in your day-to-day life. I don't know. Sit on your roof and shout brand names at passers-by. Anyway, yeah, I'll be back in about 10. Love you all. See you in a few. Hello everyone, I'm back. Sorry about the extended break. And for the bit where we're going to be stopping this early for the same reason, because guess who was getting a drink for the second half of the stream, had a nerve spike, tripped on the stairs, and spilled a whole glass of tea, a whole mug of tea over her hand. So that's why I had to take a minute to sort that out, and yeah, we're just gonna get to the next port so it saves. So let's just run down to the sun, and then I'm done for today. Apologies all. And basically TLDR, ow. Finally out of meetings just in time for the stream to end early. It do be that way. I would guess, just from the way they're driving, I really cannot be bothered to deal with you right now. I turned too early, but it might help me discover some more of the surroundings. And I say again, ow. Salvage some free glass, 78%, that seems solid. 3 of them, nice. Are here. Do we need to scavenge for anything? No, we don't really have the space for the moment. The clockwork's on. Report. Was it the steward who wanted ours? Yes. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. Yes, we have hours for her. Still not enough, she mutters, counting coins into your palm. A start. She must still have access to funding, though you can't imagine from where. The Empire can't approve of her unsanctioned meddling with their crowning achievement. Alright, I'm getting paid for this. Even better. We have even more hours. Still not enough. And we don't have a full 3 more because we donated those to the Royal Society. Take it up with them, I guess. So, Strength of the Sun hasn't increased any, so it's clearly just keep delivering hours until something happens. Anything at Azimuth? Does the sequencer... Yes, we gave the orphanage fuel and supplies. Excellent. Food and supplies even. They don't need fuel. Where are they going? 250 sovereigns. Excellent money. A hand settles on your shoulder. From here on out, the coffers of Azimuth are dedicated entirely to the betterment of mankind, says the sequencer breathlessly. Together we'll bring light to even the darkest regions of Albion. I hope you'll join me in a hymn. Without waiting for your answer, he launches into a breathless hymn. Don't know the words, but do a creditable job mumbling along. Oh hey, he has more. Crate of food and medicine awaits delivery. The dazzled sequencer explains you'll be delivering your care package to one of the grottiest slums in Welbury-Juxta-Mare. He informs you need to look beyond the promenade and hunt down the hidden side of the port to successfully dispense his charity to the needy. We can do that. Soon enough, the people of Albion will look up at the sun in the sky and see a giver of warmth and life and kindness. Something they can rely on, just like the old days. He flashes you his most sincere smile and bids you a good journey. Cool. That's all good. They're selling munitions. What prospects do we have at the minute? We've got the literature to go to the Abbot Horizon now, and that's the only thing we've got at the minute. Well, I'm going to buy some fuel. Then... yeah, I can continue a bit longer. It's fine. Let's head down to the Home Bureau. Oh, and there's a funeral again. Well, we're getting better and better at possibly giving a eulogy. Yeah. Great, we now have the attention of the storm that speaks. That's, you know, totally promising and in no way worrying. And only going to lead to good things. Yes, all the glass in space, it's quite an effect. Oh hey, more skylarks. No, I'm not giving you my fuel for a cage catch, I don't need those. Sky story for revision of heavens, that works. They pass around flasks of something bitter and fiery while regaling you with stories. They speak of the windy Orms world and its intransigent, rebellious inhabitants, of the long-necked beings that wait within the frosty stones of Skyhenge, of a plain wooden post that stands at the Abbot Horizon, pinned with messages for smiling, heartless gentlemen. Well, we know about, I think, all of those places. Just like you've got stories, well, let me tell you, you literal children. I don't like those noises. Oh, it's Stormwind. That's not good. Or is it? Should we make a terrible decision? We have not managed our heat generation well. When I say we, I mean this is entirely my own fault, and I know this. No, very bad, very bad. I'm a better shot than you stupid space urchin. Oh. She says dodging the wrong way. And then missing. Kind of wish... I think the one thing that Combat in Sunless Sea had over this is it showed you their health. And I like to know if I'm doing any kind of actual damage. Although, is it me or is it shedding more, like, particle effects? So I think that's a good sign. Yeah! Killed a thing! We can tear off a trophy for reduced terror. Investigate, grant otherworldly artifact, and insight into Scorn Flukes. Create the Wrath of Heaven. Need to have nightmares and a searing enigma and kill one of them. Huh. No, let's investigate. Drag the remnants of its victims off its spines. Collect their shattered treasures. Its unhuman music rages and sobs. The polyphonic scream brings your crew to shuddering tears. Discipline keeps them working. They're careful to maintain distance from the oozing grey exudate. In abrupt silence, the remains liquefy and dissipate. Any artifacts remaining are too tainted to gather. You now have 4 commingling of choirs. You have felt a Scornfluke's tormented musics. Okay. Good question mark. Well, we did a thing. And here we are at the Home Office. Grab a port report. Find our new street line passenger. Your contact said they'd be doing odd jobs in the storeroom. She also gave you a key to enter through the back. Between shelves of tat lined in neat rows, a woman with hair as white as cobwebs sits in a novelty rocking chair. She seems to be as dead as the Stovey Sam dolls sat among the merchandise. She doesn't respond when you address her, but when you show her the ticket, her eyes widen. "Someone came looking for me before," she confides, "but I played dead, see?" She joins you on your locomotive. Next stop for her is Port Prosper. Cool, this will in no way come back to bite us. Listen to the preacher, lose some terror. Anything else to do? The Prudent Observer, once a brilliant astronomer of the Royal Society, now consigned here in his dotage. He watches the gate. The Prudent Observer is out on the observation deck, telescope in hand. He waves at you through the fog. Coming closer, you notice his table of logbooks. "Date back to 1898. Those tallies mark people coming in." He leafs through a few pages to 1902, where sheaf after sheaf is revealed to be blank bar the dates. Wasted pages. Vision of the heavens, terror has fallen. All too good. Go to the shop. You wanted literature. I have your literature. And we regain some hull off that, I presume. It doesn't actually show you anymore. Oh, and they're selling cheap hours as well. Excellent. Taking those back up to the sun. Some supplies. No, actually, that's saved there, and I am going to call it there. Can't currently save yes, but I did just save game. Yeah, no, I'm going to call it there because this whole Scalded Hound thing is actually making thinking and talking quite difficult, so, and also setting off my nerves, so yeah, that's fun. So I'm going to call it there. Sorry about the shorter than normal stream, but life has happened at me extremely hard, as it does. So I'm just going to do the wrap up now. Thanks to everybody who's watching. Thanks if you stay to the end, means a lot. If you've been watching this, you know where to find me, but just in case, this is twitch.tv/Serasent, S-E-R-A-S-E-N-T. You'll see it on the title cards in a minute. I'm streaming here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 2 o'clock British time. That is 9 AM Eastern, 6 Pacific. Other time zones are available. And we'll just be carrying on with Sunless Skies until something awful happens and I rage quit. And maybe one day we'll make it to Eleutheria. But next, I think we're going back to the Reach to continue with the book. Anyway, words. If you missed the stream, you can catch the VODs on my Twitch for 2 months after they've aired, or go to my YouTube, also Serasent, where we have archives of the streams going back to the start of the channel. So that's all of the Mass Effect trilogy, all of Paradise Killer, and as of last night, all of Pyre is up there. I actually edited them for once. Videos go up irregularly, just whenever I edit them. This is very much a one-woman slapdash operation. So if you want to be notified when those are up, go and subscribe to the YouTube. To be notified when the Twitch is live, give us a follow. And if you particularly want to fund my driving into walls and doing crimes, you can of course cheer or sub on the Twitch, but it's very much not necessary. Just turn up, chill vibes, all good. If you want to find me elsewhere, best place to find me on the internet is on my Twitter at Waruce, that's W-A-R-U-C-E, where I post all kinds of junk, but also updates on the stream and life in general. And also, if you want to see me in other streams, check out twitch.tv/thebards playhouse, that's TheBards Playhouse, every Saturday night at 6:30 PM Eastern, that's 11:30 British time. I say every Saturday night, not this coming Saturday night, we are currently on a 2-week hiatus, but as of the first Saturday in June we will be back, and I'm in that we're playing a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Fall of London Chronicle. It's a lot of fun, and things are chaotic and weird, but that's vampire games. Okay. Now I'm going to leave and probably run some more cold water over my hand, because, I say again, ow. But anyway, that aside, love you all, and hope to see you in better circumstances on Thursday. Bye.